I believe that in this dialogue, the person of Phaedrus is characterized as a wolf. He has delivered this loudly, with a flash of anger, and the chairman almost jumps. Score. Yes, the chairman says, and a gleam in his eye shows he now recognizes who his bearded assailant is. Phaedrus in Greek does mean wolf. That's a very acute observation. He begins to recover his composure. Proceed. Phaedrus meets Socrates, who knows only the ways of the city, and leads him into the country, whereupon he begins to recite a speech of the orator Lysias, whom he admires. Socrates asks him to read it, and Phaedrus does. "Stop!" says the chairman, who has now completely recovered his composure. "You are giving us the plot, not the dialogue." He calls in the next student. None of the students seem to know to the chairman's satisfaction what the dialogue is about. And so with mock sadness, he says they must all read more thoroughly, but this time he will help them by taking on the burden of explaining the dialogue himself. This provides an overwhelming relief to the tension he has so carefully built up, and the entire class is in the palm of his hand. The chairman proceeds to reveal the meaning of the dialogue with complete attention. Phaedrus listens with deep engagement. After a time, something begins to disengage him a little. A false note of some kind has crept in. At first he doesn't see what it is, but then he becomes aware that the chairman has completely bypassed Socrates' description of the one and has jumped ahead to the allegory of the chariot and the horses. In this allegory, the seeker, trying to reach the one, is drawn by two horses, one white and noble and temperate, and the other surly, stubborn, passionate, and black. The one is forever aiding him in his upward journey to the portals of heaven. The other is forever confounding him. The chairman has not stated it yet, but he is at the point at which he must now announce that the white horse is temperate reason, the black horse is dark passion, emotion. He is at the point at which these must be described, but the false note suddenly becomes a chorus. He backs up and restates that, "Now Socrates has sworn to the gods that he is telling the truth. He has taken an oath to speak the truth, and if what follows is not the truth, he has forfeited his own soul." Trap. He's using the dialogue to prove the holiness of reason. Once that's established, he can move down into inquiries of what reason is, and then, lo and behold, there we are in Aristotle's domain again. Phaedrus raises his hand, palm flat out, elbow on the table. Where before this hand was shaking, it is now deadly calm. Phaedrus senses that he now is formally signing his own death warrant here, but knows he will sign another kind of death warrant if he takes his hand down. The chairman sees the hand, is surprised and disturbed by it, but acknowledges it. Then the message is delivered. Phaedrus says, "All this is just an analogy." Silence. And then confusion appears in the chairman's face. "What?" he says. The spell of his performance is broken. This entire description of the chariot and horses is just an analogy. "What?" he says again, then loudly, "It is the truth. Socrates has sworn to the gods that it is the truth." Phaedrus replies, "Socrates himself says it is an analogy."